It comes from something, and it's extremely old.
Woody the Woodpecker?
Nope. It's Betty Boop.
Oh, Betty Boop.
Did you know that Betty Boop was originally a dog?
No.
Oh, okay. That's going.
Yes. Yes, Betty Boop was originally a dog.
Do you know Betty Boop influenced the anime Ai?
Which anime?
The Japanese loved Betty Boop, and she's the one that influenced the shaping of the anime Ai.
Oh, okay.
Like the literal eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fucking. All right. Well, welcome back to the Herbalist Podcast. I'm back again with Rob and Dean.
Right.
How you guys doing this morning?
Good.
Can't complain. Got free coffee.
How'd you get free coffee?
Walked in, they made it for me, and then I left. They didn't make me pay for it.
Fucking assholes. Fuck those pricks. Make me pay for my coffee. Fucking pricks. I'm just kidding. We love you guys over at Dunkin'.
Yes.
Rob does.
They always hook me up. That's why I keep going.
Is this on me or something? It's just sitting
I
in
don't
front
know.
of
It's
me.
just been sitting there. Anywho,
Well,
we're rolling
anyway.
now. Kind of a lame dry open. Normally I try to do the dry opens because there's usually something interesting going on at the moment.
We were talking about Betty Boop.
Normally it's something out of pocket that I manage to catch.
Yeah.
So, how is everything going? Any takers? I think it's going about that good.
Jesus.
My bad. That was a deep one. That's some hash right there, people. I think it might almost be kicked.
Yeah, I think it is.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we're done with that. Had some GG4 hash to start the morning. Now we're going to roll a blunt of some GG4.
Ooh.
Actually, it's a joint, but it's blunt length.
Oh, okay. I was actually surprised. It's been a while.
Yeah, I'm not really into blunts no more. Each blunt is like 2 to 5 cigarettes, depending on how thick the paper is. Smoke a lot of tobacco throughout the day. I don't need to be smoking extra. But anyway, you know, stop talking about my health issues. So, we're about at that time of year this year. It's April. April showers bring May flowers here in the Northeast, specifically the
Speaking of
southern tier.
April, is it just me, or was this year's April Fool's the least foolish it's ever been? Like, it didn't
Yeah.
even feel anything like April Fool's Day.
No, maybe it's
And-
just because we're getting older.
No, I don't really think it's that, because I heard and saw a few people kind of mention the same thing. It didn't really feel like,
I think a lot of base reality just kind of made it so it was less foolish.
yeah.
Yeah, like the past couple of years have been a little more serious than they should have been.
Eh.
But regardless, yes, this is our April Fool's episode. It's not exactly April Fool's, but you know, it's the closest one you're gonna get to April Fool's.
Just because of the way the days fell this year.
Yeah,
See, we record these on Thursday and they come out Friday.
you know, I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people that come out on Friday and then they go back in on Sunday.
I don't usually come out ever.
I'm
So I
talking
don't
about
know.
out of the closet.
Well, that's on them.
That's on
I mean,
them.
in this day and age, if they're still in the closet, that's on them.
For real.
So like, what do
Honestly.
you got to be afraid of? Come on.
It's 2025. Nobody cares what you eat.
Yeah, pretty much.
If you didn't get that joke, you're not old enough. Stop listening to the show.
Or you're too stoned, so put the thing down.
Anywho, so we are at that time of year. Like I was saying, it's April.
It's rainy season again.
Rainy season, but it's also prime season to start preparing your soil. If anybody knows what I'm talking about.
It's wet.
Yes, it's very wet, and everything is actually starting to decompose from the winter. You know what I'm saying? Like, all that stuff that got frozen and whatnot, it's starting to decompose. So right now would be the optimal time to prepare your soil. You need to go out, especially if you're...
Got to till it.
Yeah, especially if you're an outdoor grower.
Yep. Yeah, actually, even regardless if you grow pot or you grow anything else for that matter, it's a good time to go out until soil's nice and soft.
Add your fertilizer.
Everything will get nice incorporated, and when it's ready, you can just plant the shit and go.
Yep, and not to mention, you want to prepare your soil. And what I mean by that is not just till it, but you want to add your fertilizers, at least a base layer, and your compost and whatnot right now, so that way it has time to actually mix into the soil, to get incorporated into the soil. So that way it's not just sitting on top, washing down in. You know?
Yeah.
Because I don't know if y'all know about plants with roots, which is every plant. But anyway, roots grow down into the soil. They're not just at the top. They're not just right there on the surface. They grow down. They go in, you know? They go through the dirt. You know what I'm saying? So, if you got a good top layer of fertilizer or nutrients and then nothing underneath, what happens when that plant gets bigger? It's going to starve. Just saying. Dean, I know it's been a number of years, but do you have any tips or tricks on preparing soils?
Not so much.
No?
I've done a lot of tilling and everything like that. Just
You've never actually prepared a soil for a plant?
I've helped, but I didn't have any recipes.
All right. Well, I mean, it's not really recipe based. I mean, it kind of is, but it's not. So
I knew there was some people that would grow specifically with dirt, so they would make their own dirt.
Yeah, those are your new age hippies. I'm sorry if you're out there. I really don't like those kind of people. I
didn't like that person anyway. So
and it's not like anything other than the fact that they're like, oh, it's got to be organic. You got to do it this way. You got to do it. The fuck you do. Okay. 90% of everything that you get that says organic isn't actually organic, first of all. All right. And fucking the other shit, it doesn't have to be organic. So much of your food and everything else is not organic. Even when they tell you it's organic, I'm using sprays and whatnot on my stuff that say organic, but it's completely liquid and it does weird fucking things. You know what I'm saying? Tell me that's organic. Tell me that came from the ground or from an animal or something like that. No, some scientist took a whole bunch of things, boiled them down, made a soup, concentrated it, refined it, and put it in a fucking bottle. You telling me that's organic?
Well, I mean, if you really want to split hairs, any sort of crossbreeding too kind of goes against the whole organic, natural kind of thing. Because guess what? Not everything's organic and natural anymore. We crossbred everything. Like bananas are a combination of a plantain and something else. Fucking watermelons used to be
bananas are a combination of a plantain and a banana.
Are
the original banana?
Yeah, which are actually about that big.
Are the cloning agents a natural substance?
It started as a natural substance
until they found cheaper methods of producing it with alternate chemicals and whatnot.
No, it's still made with it's made out of aloe vera.
Oh.
But it's refined and processed into a gel. Aloe, and it's a red gel.
Oh, yeah. That's
Is
why I
aloe
never would have
vera
guessed.
red?
No, I would have never guessed it was aloe vera.
Why did they dye it?
Yeah.
I don't think it's dye. I think it's some other food that's in it that turned it red. But again, it's heavily processed into a gel. Okay,
What else do they put in it?
I don't know. It's not organic though. I don't give a fuck what people say. Call it organic all you want, and then take me to your factory.
Well,
Like,
I mean,
straight up.
if you even want to split hairs, all the shit that we use to put into chemicals and whatnot is naturally occurring.
Right, and that's how they can get away with that kind of shit.
Well, no, that even debunks the whole argument, essentially. Technically, everything's organic. There's only a few human-made components.
Right.
I can't remember how big the periodic table is now, but there's actually a few man-made elements on there that we've made by
I think,
recombining some other things that we found.
yeah, I think the actual elements that exist in nature that we found only go up to like 115.
Yeah, something like that. We've added on quite a few.
And then fucking
There's still some
plutonium is,
there's still some we haven't found yet.
yeah, plutonium is 122.
I thought that one was naturally occurring.
No, plutonium is made from uranium.
It's the half-life, so I guess.
No, uranium decays into lead. Uranium's half-life is lead. They enriched uranium is uranium that's 238. It's been bombarded. So uranium-235 exists everywhere. Enriched uranium has been bombarded with extra isotopes and electrons, and they get it
So
to
it's
pick up a
essentially it's
couple
been irradiated.
even farther. Yes.
Yeah.
And then they take enriched uranium and do something else to it to get it to
Irradiate
combine.
it even further, essentially.
Actually, I think they add a lot of pressure and more elements, and they get it to combine more in its nucleus, and they make plutonium.
Oh, so it's that's fucky.
Because uranium 115.
No, it's essentially what they're doing with that is since they're putting it under pressure at that point and adding in the few other components, not only is it volatile and radioactive as it is, but by putting the pressure on it, they reduce it on a molecular level down to a singularity, which makes it really unstable.
No, so it doesn't actually reduce its size any. What it does is it forces the neutrons that they're trying to connect into the nucleus.
That's what a singularity does. They are still getting compressed and reduced in size.
Right, but as soon as they release the pressure,
yes,
it's just...
and that's why it's so volatile.
We're going to take a 5-minute break. I'll be right back.
I don't know why you said 5-minute break. You went and blew your nose.
Well, if you didn't tell nobody would have known. I mean, fuck. To them, it was literally a 1-second break.
Or, yeah, regardless.
I can tell them I'm going to have a 30-minute break and then fucking come back in 5 seconds. They ain't going to know.
Not unless I just leave it running to be an ass. That'd be funny. Just leave 30 minutes of dead air in the middle of it. Oh, they did a 2-hour one today. There's about 45 minutes of dead air. Why? I don't know.
And it's not actual dead air. You can actually hear us in the background doing shit.
Yep. Nothing productive or related.
Yo, we should do that one day, but like make it sound like we get into a fight or something. That'd be kind of
That
funny.
seems too staged.
Yeah. Have somebody's wife burst in,
Jesus
mad,
Christ.
with a third baby.
With the third baby.
Where the fuck do you get that baby?
It's number 3. Where'd the other 2 come from?
Well, I have 2 kids right now, and I'm the only one here that has a wife.
That is, why the fuck would she be asking you where the third baby come from? I'd be asking her. Bitch,
Right.
where'd she come from? What have you been doing?
Excuse me, but I can't just.
Did you
bring
get someone
home-
pregnant?
How you do that?
Oh, we all know how it happened.
Oh, I just meant jokingly, like with the current timing of your situation.
Like, when
Oh,
did you
yeah.
find the time to go and have a second child at the same time as this one? Or did you get someone pregnant?
Oh my god. Fucking. So, fleeting thoughts. Yep. We'll come back to that. No, we won't. I won't remember. Anyway, oh yeah, back onto the soil. So I asked Dean, you don't do anything, I mean, you don't have any tips or tricks or anything for enriching soils?
I mean, there's different stuff. I just don't really have it as a how-to for people.
Yeah. So
I've never grown a plant, so I can't really weigh in at all.
So for your weed plants, I highly recommend putting your fertilizer on there. If you are an organic grower, you probably already know this. And I use that term loosely, organic. But you probably have a compost pile somewhere. So what you're going to want to do is right about now, within the next 2 weeks or so, I would go out and where you're going to plant, I would level your compost right on top. Just throw your compost right on top of where you're going to plant and leave it, especially because it's going to be rainy. It's going to be rainy the next couple of weeks.
And if it's going to warm up like it's supposed to, because it's supposed to get up near 70 today.
Yeah, it's supposed to be 75.
Make it a little bit warm and humid.
So,
and that's what the necrophages bacteria like. They like it warm and wet.
So, if you have a compost pile, again, I'm sure you already know this, unless this is your first year. If it's your first year with a compost pile, don't even use it. You ain't been composting long enough. It has not broken down enough. It ain't ready. Don't use it. Just keep building up your compost. If it's been a couple of years that you're building up your compost pile, you can take and dig to the bottom of your pile, or if you have a bin, probably be better if you had a bin because you've been rotating it. It's probably all compost by now. But if you have a pile, dig to the bottom of your pile. Get that shit that looks like get that shit that looks decomposed and just nasty.
Shit, if it's been going long enough, it will look like soil.
Yeah. Yeah, if you've had yourself composting long
That's
enough.
all soil is decomposed matter.
Yeah. Yep. So, I highly recommend going and throwing, pulling off the top layer of your compost, and then take the bottom layer and layer it thin, depending on how much you have and how much you want to add. Layer it thin to where you're going to grow your weed. And then just leave it for at least a week, maybe 2. Now, what's going to happen in this week or 2 is it's going to get rained on and the temperature is going to come up, just like Rob said. It's going to activate all that bacteria that's in there, and it's going to start really breaking that stuff down. I mean, it's most of the way broke down now if you've got good compost, but that's going to really activate it, get those bacteria going. And what they do is
creates the perfect little biome for them to consume.
Yes,
so bacteria is going to go through and eat the rest of the living matter, and then basically break it down as a product of its own waste.
Yes.
Wasn't an old trick to add nitrate to your compost? Add a little bit of fire pit ash.
Yeah. But,
okay. See, I remember things. I just don't have confidence.
Yeah, it's the nitrates and obviously from the nitrate and the carbon from the ash actually acts as catalysts for the bacteria. It gives them a little extra to eat and breathe.
Actually, no.
You sure?
Yeah, they don't.
Because the carbon is the building block for all of life. That's why it's added.
Right, but they don't. You really don't need carbon. You don't need to add carbon to anything. If you if you look, it's not really a major element, and it's kind of like you said, it's everywhere. That's why.
Yeah, but it's
what I'm saying?
concentrated and activated.
And they really don't do it. What you need, what the ashes do add, believe it or not, nitrogen. This is important for early stage growth. And honestly, you need a soil with not an extremely elevated level, but for budding, you need extra calcium.
Calcium. Oh.
Salt. Believe it or not, helps THC content. Anyway, so after you leave your compost out over top of the ground where you're gonna plant, fucking leave it out for 2 weeks, and then or a week or 2 weeks. It'll help it further activate, get those bacteria really growing, and then till that shit straight into your soil. Just go straight over top of it with your tiller and mix it right into your soil. What that's going to do is it's going to disperse the compost, but it's also going to disperse that bacteria.
Yeah,
So
essentially all
everything-
the added stuff just makes the little bacteria molecules big and fat,
Right.
and
so
they can
that way,
permeate the rest of the soil as
Yes.
it breaks down.
so once it gets into the soil, it should, there
So
should be
basically all those
shitloads.
bacteria are going to die fat and happy.
Eggshells.
Eggshells are good. They add a lot of essential nutrients, but that you need to add to your compost, and that's a good.
Actually,
like,
in a lot
3
of
years.
those compost mixes I've seen when I've gone over there with you when you got your shit, they use a lot of coconut shells instead of egg.
That's a little different. So, coconut shells. Coconut shells add aeration. So, cocoa doesn't hold nutrients. Coconut, the inside of coconuts will, but the outside, the shells, they don't. It doesn't hold nutrients at all. When it decays, it really doesn't even release anything.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's literally just a shell.
Wow.
Yeah, it's barren. Like,
Yeah.
barren. It's why we use cocoa when we plant, is because we can add anything we want to it because it has absolutely nothing in it a plant will eat.
Okay.
You know, nothing.
So it's
in,
just matter to hold everything.
yes, it's a barren substrate. That's literally what that
It
means.
literally
Filler
is a barren
material.
Yeah.
It's just material to hold water with, and the water has to
It's
have
the
the nutrients.
styrofoam of the natural world.
Yeah, basically.
Well, that actually helps because then, as you have it in your pot, it really doesn't create any bacteria or anything by its decomposition.
No, but that's
right?
why it's an aerator, because once it breaks down, it essentially creates air pockets in it, which allows airflow.
No, it already is air pockets. It itself is.
Yeah,
air
no, I
pockets.
know, but because it's still going to break down, but it doesn't really break down into anything.
It compresses.
Yeah,
Just like everything else. It doesn't create air pockets. When it breaks down, it does compress down.
as far as usable material, though, it does create pockets in between things.
But anyway, yeah, eggshells are good for your compost, but you have to already have them in your compost. You don't want to just add them to the yard. You want them to be breaking down and everything.
Yeah.
You know, and actually the eggshells are kind of what adds bacteria. You know what I mean? Do you know
Yeah,
about
they
that?
do.
So in the inside of an egg, the reason you gotta cook that shit and you can't just eat raw eggs, which people still do, which is fucking gross.
Actually, embryonic fluid we're eating.
Yeah, let's just not.
It's just not.
Hey, it's the reality of things.
Anyway, so there is these tiny little bacterias that live underneath the shell of an egg, but on top of the membrane of the egg. So you know how there's that little thin membrane
Yes.
between the actual shell and the egg?
Yes.
There are microscopic bacteria that live all over that.
Okay.
And fucking, you know, when you mix them into your compost, you're releasing bacteria into the compost to eat things.
Yeah.
Fucking. But yeah, as long as they're mixed in ahead of time, banana peels are a real good one too.
Yeah.
They add potassium to the soil. Potassium is very important for your plants.
I didn't think
Especially-
about their byproduct of potassium.
What, bananas?
Yeah, I didn't think about their byproduct of yeah.
You know that there's actually people that are prescribed bananas
Huh.
because
Because
they
of
have
the
potassium deficiency and shit. They tell them, eat a banana or 4.
Bananas are good. I like me some bananas.
I wish my wife liked bananas more.
Jesus Christ. This is why we can't have nice things.
Yeah, because I'm spending all my money on my wife trying to get her nice thing.
No, this is why we can't have nice things.
No banana zone.
We are not in a no banana zone. If anything, we're having.
This is a banana zone. Let's be real about it.
Yeah. I was going to say it's a banana party up in here.
A bushel.
A bushel. We got a bushel going on. Anyway, so yeah, that's basically the end of that segment. I just wanted to let you all know, prepare your soils. Definitely don't plant. Remember,
Prepare your anuses.
We
I don't
live-
know why. Just prepare them.
yes, we live in the Northeast. Now, I'm glad I'm getting to this now because you don't have to prepare your soil right now. It would probably be good to start preparing it within the next 2 to 3 weeks. But if we get an early planting season, remember, it's going to switch to veg cycle on like the 8th of May. So if it gets warm and stays warm, you could potentially plant on like May 8th, May 9th, May 10th, and let those motherfuckers grow real nice and hardy instead of having to wait till the end of May, early June. Because, you know, you got to make sure it stays above at least 40 degrees overnight, and even that's kind of low,
Yeah.
especially for a newborn. I hope you already have your plants vegging, at the very least. You got to have an indoor veg before you plant them outside. We live in New York, for fuck's sake. You don't want to grow a 3-foot plant, do you?
Maybe they do. You don't know. I don't know. They probably don't know. I don't know who they are.
They.
Probably the whole 5 or 10 of them.
Oh, hey. Hey, I saw a real good one on Facebook. You know how non-binary people kill people?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Do you know how non-binary people kill people, Dean? They/them.
That's actually good. I like that one. That's almost like a child level
Yeah,
joke.
yeah, okay.
I seen
It was
that shit
actually
on
way more
Facebook.
lighthearted than I thought it was going to be.
That was a bit more of a wholesome joke.
Yeah,
really.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
a murder joke, but
No,
I didn't see that one coming.
That one can fly.
I kind of worry with some of your jokes.
I worry too. And I was like,
Please tell me we're not going there on this episode.
He said,
Don't make my
finger
editing
is
job-
above the button.
he's above the
Don't
button.
even do it.
We don't need a whole bunch of keyboard warriors after us. But no, that one was actually kind of cool. I like that.
All 5 or 10 of them?
All 5 or 10 of them. Yeah.
Who knows? Maybe we'll get famous for the wrong reasons. At least they'll get people talking about us. All press is good press. Remember that. I'm not so sure that statement is true anymore. That used to be true. It's not anymore. Because now people, girl power over everything.
There it is.
No, it's coming at some point.
And we're back from that edit point. In about 26 minutes.
Did I not just say a little while ago, this is why we can't have nice things?
Sure did.
You also
Yep.
said prepare your anus.
Oh, you make
I
a
mean-
point. I didn't realize why I said that now. Now I do.
We were just talking
It
about
come-
people who slash them.
It all comes full circle. Yes, that was a bad anus joke. I had a few different puns going on in there now that I think about
Rather
it.
puckering.
Quite puckering.
Disturbing. Ooh, it's a joint. It's a really big joint.
Big joint.
I roll the king size joints. They're bigger than the blunts I used to roll. It went out.
That tends to happen.
All right, so now that we've got the whole soil thing out of the way,
Shenanigans.
we I got good news business wise. We just sent a couple of new buds out for testing yesterday. Yes,
Cool.
the tester was at Rec Roots picking them up. So hopefully we will have a couple new strains hit the market here soon.
Cool.
Yep, a couple new pre-rolls. I want to say a new hash. Definitely some new buds. You know. Hopefully we get on our edible game here soon. That'll be nice.
Yeah, it still picks up the sound.
Yeah.
I
It's all
gotta
good.
attempt to get another mic clip. A couple of them. So I don't have to hold my microphone no more.
Yeah.
I don't mind because I don't talk so much. So there's a lot of times I'll just shut it off and put it down.
Yeah. But anyway, I do want to move on to the next topic. I don't know if you're willing to talk about it, but I'm going to bring it up anyway because you put it on Facebook. So I was looking through Facebook and I liked and shared it. If anybody's out there who's on my personal profile, if you want to go find it there, you definitely can. But I saw that Rob is dropping a new single tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm getting my backlog done and out there. It's gonna be one of the most low effort videos I made because it's literally just the still image. Some of this I'm not worried about. Some of it right now, actually, I don't have the budget.
Are you doing
for.
Are you doing your floaty credits?
Oh, like the credit roll
Yeah,
at the
yeah.
end? No.
Oh.
No. Again, this one's just like absolute bare fucking minimum just to get it out there because I've sat on this backlog too fucking long. You know, it's in the same kind of vein as Saturn was. It's got Mike on it again, as well as myself. Well, obviously, but
I would hope it has you on it. It's your song.
you know, I'm waiting for the day I can actually write something and it's just entirely other people that play it. That would be kind of trippy. I've not had that happen yet. I
Yeah,
think
that would be pretty fucking sweet. See somebody else play your songs?
Yeah.
That would be cool.
Or like even not even that. Like maybe I ghostwrite something for them. Like I wouldn't have any compulsory need to tell anyone, hey, I wrote that. It would just be every time I'd hear it, I'd be like, yeah, that's kind of fucking cool. Because actually one night I was talking to Dean about it. Like all these tracks I got coming out right now, especially this backlog, are they're all going to be kind of raw, I guess you could say, because, again, I've sat on them for so fucking long. I am taking the opportunity to flesh out some new production techniques to get a bit more polish out of them. And this one that's coming out tomorrow, Ash and Carnage, I recommend listening to through like a car stereo or something with decent sound quality to it, because the mix that I put up on YouTube isn't technically configured to YouTube standards, but I'm quite proud of myself with what I did with it. But that's pretty much what I'm doing with all these, just kind of refining certain things and whatnot. But I've got a couple other new things I'm working on that are going to be coming. So a lot of what I need to do is more or less just refine sounds. Like I've got enough tools, and even the things I'm missing, I've already found out alternatives and different ways to do it. So it's just a matter of getting source sounds better.
Okay. Well, I mean,
But no, I don't really have much information on the song itself other than listen to it through something decent. Because I did not mix it and release it to the YouTube standards for their optimal listening on their platform. I still haven't gone about getting ready to put all that stuff up on Spotify yet. I think I'm probably just going to release the whole backlog on YouTube first, then drop it all at once on Spotify and everywhere else through DistroKid.
so drop it as singles on YouTube and essentially a backlog album on Spotify.
I don't think I'll make it as an album or anything, but just all the tracks at once.
Yeah. So basically, you're releasing enough tracks to fill an LP.
Pretty much.
That'd be kind of funny.
Yeah, because I'm starting to go into a different route with everything.
This coughing break brought to you by marijuana.
Yeah, my coffee hasn't kicked in, or else I'd be more talkative.
Yeah.
No, I really don't got much to say on the backlog, really, other than it's gonna because we record, like I said, we record these on Thursday. They come out Friday. After we're wrapped up and done with this episode, I'm actually gonna edit and get everything released. So if any of our listeners are interested, this is gonna come out an hour before my single does, because I can schedule the YouTube releases. That's what I'm gonna do is edit and get all the videos and shit uploaded while I run my drills.
Okay. Sorry, I was texting. Is there anything you can tell us about the single? Like, what can we expect from it? Is it like, well, let's just start with, because I know you usually flirt in between two different genres. Which genre would you put this one more in?
I don't know. I'm really bad one to ask for that, because I kind of just write.
Yeah, I know that, but you're the one who usually tells me what genres I'm listening to.
Yeah, but I don't know how to class mine sometimes. I mean, like I said, it kind of is another, not really a carbon copy, but it's in the same vein that Saturn was. So I guess you could say,
so more of like a metalcore kind of sound.
Yeah, melodic, like early melodic metalcore kind of a thing.
Okay, I'm just wondering because sometimes you flirt with death metal, sometimes you flirt with metalcore. Sometimes
the more death metal-y ones I got to get to yet. There's one of them actually one of the singles that that's going to be coming in this backlog you're on, and that one's got a few black metal elements in it.
I think I remember that. I think I remember recording that.
Yeah, you did the voiceover for the breakdown, I think it is. It's either the breakdown or the bridge, but yeah.
Yeah, I would have liked to re-record that too, but it's been too long.
It came out. It came out pretty damn good.
Yeah, you know I don't like it.
Yeah, I know.
I don't. So I'll go and listen to these every once in a while just to see how I sound. I don't like it there. I'll be honest with you. I don't like listening to my voice in these headphones right now.
Welcome to my world, bud.
I sound like that?
Actually, now that you got me thinking about it, there's 6 tracks in total, and there is kind of an even split between them. Some of them are more metalcore, and the others are, I guess you'd say, on the death metal end of it, because there's one instrumental in there.
That
one I'll get to when it's time for that one to come out. That one's an interesting one.
Let's not forget the other genre of music that you tend to make without even knowing it.
What's up?
Video game music.
Yeah, that's just been kind of.
There has been so many songs of yours that I'm like, damn, that sounds like it's straight out of video game.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm going to start leaning into. Just straight instrumental kind of stuff.
Don't get me wrong. I actually really like those songs. You make really good video game music. The metalcore and the death metal stuff's pretty good, but I think the video game style stuff is really good. That's my opinion.
Yeah, no, it all leads into the same thing, essentially. Because I still use the same techniques. And I've got thinking about that, too. Like, when I study theory or I learn new concepts, it's usually from the lens of either film or video game composers. Because I like to... Because it focuses more on the traditional orchestration versus, like, a guitar lesson.
Yeah.
Because if you go, like, even Dean can agree with me. Like, if you go and look at a YouTuber or someone that tries to teach heavy metal, like theory or composition, it just turns into a fucking guitar lesson. Or like a bass lesson, a drum lesson, a vocal lesson.
I've seen that.
And
it's kind of annoying.
In order to get to, like, again, the nerdery, the theoretician end of it, I still tend to go back to, like, film and video game because that's closer to classical musical composition. And it's kind of something I've done so long, it's unintentionally bled into my writing. Even if just like the straight death metal kind of stuff. It's subtle. It's more subtle in those arrangements, but it's still there.
Yeah. But, all right. So,
I've actually got one of those I've been working on. I don't want to get too much into that one because it's still in the early infantile stages. But needless to say, I've also been fucking around with an 8-string, so I'll just leave it at that.
Okay.
I've been learning the 8-string.
Okay. So we can expect this one on Friday, right?
Yes.
Which is tomorrow for us, but it'll be
today for you
guys.
Yeah.
So
I'm gonna get
Ooh, that was a bad one.
Old microphone. But yeah, no, I'm gonna get all the video editing and uploading done after we wrap up today.
Okay. Hey, at least you didn't use that microphone to record the songs.
True. No, I think I did. That actually might be why it's kind of...
Oh.
No, I didn't, actually.
Okay.
Could just have some dust in the pinholes.
I've also had this specific microphone since I was 17.
Is it a Shure?
Sure.
PV.
PV, oh.
It's a cheap-ass PV microphone. And it survived since I was 17. I've had this fucker for a long time. Yeah, no, I don't really have too much to report on my end. I'm just trying to get my backlog done. I got a few more courses to study I want to get back to.
So,
while I'm writing and tinkering on new stuff.
So Friday for this one. Do you have a general release window for the next one?
No, I'm going to try and space them out at least a month. Just that way they can get out there and have some time to breathe. Because I was looking back at my YouTube the other day, and it's been like almost 6 months between the first one and this one. Life's kind of gotten crazy and out of the way. But
were you trying to pass it?
I've got a good starting template, at least.
You okay?
Oh, yeah.
At least
looks like that hurt.
At least to speed through the production.
I didn't feel that.
Anyway, my bad. We're having a side conversation over here.
That's typical.
So at least a month.
Yeah.
I was actually going to ask
more or less just because I got to decide which one I want to do next.
I was going to ask you, can we, because it is a backlog, so they're basically done. Can we expect one like once a month until they're all released?
Well, that's what I was just saying. I got a working template for them. Everything's been recorded. I haven't started like the actual post-production on a lot of them. And I do have 2 others after that backlog's done. So more or less, by the time my backlog's done, the song I'm working on now will be ready to come out.
Okay, well that's pretty cool. So we
Should be anyway.
We got a lot to expect from Rob this upcoming year. Hopefully.
Then I'll probably disappear for a while because I got a bigger project I want to undertake, and that's all going to just come out at once.
Oh, is it our project?
Which one?
The universe.
We haven't had time for that.
I know. We need to get back to that.
I'm talking about musically, not that. I was actually just talking about that the other night too.
It's also a song.
Sort of. I mean, it's got music in it, video, audio.
Yeah, it's turned into a whole different animal.
That was the middleman fee.
But no, the other project I'm gonna work on is I'm gonna actually have you guys help me figure out the outline for some of it, and I'm just gonna kind of disappear and work on it all at once. Considering the intended usage for it, I kind of have to have everything come out at the same time.
Oh, I know what that one is. I won't give it away.
Yeah. Other than that, I actually think I may have a couple film projects coming up. I'm
cool.
not 100% certain on timelines or any 100% certainty at all, but it's looking promising again. I'll be doing short films. That'll be fucking fun.
So this isn't. This is kind of in that realm. This is an open call for anybody who listens to this show. If you know or you are anyone who can make and do audio and visuals, please contact me. Get a hold of me in my DMs, text me, email me. I believe everything is on our Facebook. You can get a hold of me any which way you want. I think even my phone number's on there. So just get a hold of me any way you can. My bosses at Rec Roots have been looking into making kind of like promotional videos that would play at dispensaries as you walk in. I'm not sure on the price. Obviously, it is a paid gig, but we'd like to see, your references, your work. We want to see stuff like that before we work with you. And obviously, we're gonna have to have a contract and whatnot. And you're gonna pitch us what you would charge us. Basically, we don't know anything about that, so let us know what your rates and everything would be. But please get a hold of me. We're looking into making audio visual kind of things that would play basically like commercials, but they can't play on TV, but we can play them at dispensaries when you walk in. So say you walk into a new dispensary and they have a TV or whatnot right there. We could have like a Rec Roots commercial on that TV as it plays. Other production companies I've seen actually have those, like up at William Jane. If you walk in, there's like a Rolling Greens thing, and then there's like a Dank thing, and then there's like a Cookies thing playing behind the screen. So if anybody, like I said, can do that kind of audio visual thing. I mean, I know Rob could do audios.
That's why I have mic problems. This thing's not fully clipping into the microphone. What the fuck? Sorry, that was fucking random, but that random clicking noise you heard was me detaching the microphone.
Oh yeah, we thought it might be the cord. That's right, it's not the mic. You said it was the cord because you tried a different mic with that cord and it did the same thing. Remember? We did that last week, Rob.
Oh, it's nothing wrong with either. Like, you notice how there's this little button at the end of your microphone there, bud?
Yeah.
There's a clip in there that actually secures it in there. This, for some odd reason.
Oh.
Yeah, it's just not clipping for some odd reason. Man, I'm going to have a lot of edits points on that one because I decided to fuck around with a microphone.
Yeah, a little bit.
There's truth to the adage: fuck around and find out.
But yeah, even if you're just a visual guy, even if you just record, like Rob could definitely clean up the sound for you. You know.
Well, a lot of cinematographers have like their own audio equipment just to get dialogue and whatnot.
Right, but I'm sure
that
they
I
still
can
need an
edit.
editor and whatnot.
Yeah, that I can do.
But you know, if you have your own people for that, we're fine with that too. Like, you know, I'm just
depending because a lot of them have bare basic knowledge of editing that kind of audio.
That's what I'm saying. If you can do that all yourself, that'd be great. If you need an audio engineer, I already have one. But I need, you know, I just need somebody that can do a commercial, basically. My boss is looking for that kind of shit. You just have to come in and actually talk with my bosses. I can't guarantee you're going to get the job, especially if you're way overpriced, because we are a startup. We don't have a lot of money, but we're trying to get noticed, just like everybody else. And it would be, you know, it could be good for both of us, because there are 330 dispensaries that have thousands of visitors every day. And if we put your commercial up there, and even at the very end, if it just says, you know, made by whoever, you know what I'm saying? Think about how many people are going to see that. You know, even if people aren't even really paying attention, at least a couple of them are going to see that.
Mm-hmm.
Thousands upon thousands of people visit dispensaries every day. We are in 60 to 70 dispensaries. You figure if every one of those dispensaries gets 100 visitors a day, which is actually low numbers because we're in 20-something dispensaries in New York City, which those alone get over 1,000 visitors a day. You know what I'm saying? But even if they just get 100 visitors a day, 70 dispensaries, you do the math. That's 7,000 people that just watched, you know.
I can't math.
And you figure, say 25% of them looked up at the screen. You know what I'm saying? That's like 1,700 people in a day. 1,750, but who's counting? In a day that just watched your commercial. And let's say of that 1,750, let's say 10% of them, just 10%, watched that commercial till the end and saw your name. That's 175 people that saw that you made that in one day. If you do a good job, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You break it down like that, kind of makes sense. I'm just saying, if you are a quality cinematographer or know anybody, or, you know, are trying to get into that field and you have a little bit of a knowledge of it and you have your equipment and everything and you can do that, get a hold of me. I may or may not be able to help you with a job, making a commercial for a legal weed growing cultivation. How do we say that? We're a cultivation license, I guess. They have a cultivation license. We have a license to grow weed.
Cultivation license, yeah.
I don't know how you'd phrase that. But anyway, yeah, I think that's where we're going to leave our episode today.
We're going to leave it on my desk.
Yeah, well, actually, we're going to leave it on the computer.
Which is on my desk.
Which is on the desk.
So we're going to leave it on my desk.
Nah, I think we'll leave everything on the mat.
Left out on the desk.
At least we're not leaving it on the floor.
That's a mess. We need to clean it up.
Fucking shenanigans.
All right. Well, I will. Here we go again. I'll see y'all next week.
Because we're always watching.
Yes.
You ever
We're
get
like
that
Santa
weird
Claus.
tingle in your spine?
No. Who's that? Who's that one artist from the
around
80s?
Corner.
Who's that one artist from the 80s, that real creep that made that fucking creepy ass song, you know, I'll be watching you.
Well, it was Sting.
Yeah. Wasn't that the Police? Or was that just Sting?
I can't remember
his solo
I can't
stuff?
remember which one. I can't remember if it was the Police or Sting.
Yeah, neither can I, but yeah, that was...
Did Sting sing it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Either way, we're going to be like Sting.
Every
I'll be
breath
watching
you take.
Every move you make.
I've always said that would go
Every breath
great
you
in a
take.
psychological thriller about a stalker.
I'll be watching you. Yo, okay, so
That really would.
say the lyrics. Don't sing the lyrics. Just say the lyrics with no music and tell me that that's a love song. He says, I'll be watching you.
I mean, in that case, it's all about context.
Every move you make, every breath you take, I'll be watching you.
That's why it'd go great in that kind of a movie.
That is so fucked up.
Well, no, because technically it is a kind of a love song. When you listen to it, you don't think about it that way. But if you pair it with the exact opposite visuals, it becomes one of those extremely delightfully fucked up songs.
God,
Kind of like Pumped Up Kicks.
I love that song.
So do I.
We're going to hell.
I'm probably going to put that on
And
now, actually, while I'm tearing
Rob-
everything down.
Rob and I don't like pop music, to put it in perspective. We love that song because of the lyrics, which when everybody found out about the lyrics, they were like, oh my God.
It's incredibly bouncy too, bro.
It is. You don't realize what it's about until you look at the lyrics and you're like, oh.
Oh. Yo,
It's
so
that song.
that's one of those songs, like you know how I fuck with songs, like I'll turn them around and like I'll say different shit.
Yeah,
and-
that one you don't got to.
so you remember when we were working at Olive Garden and I would sing
That's
the
when I
song
found it, yeah.
word for word and
Yeah.
people would look at me and I'd be like, no, I don't have to fuck with this song. I
Go
need
look
you
it
to
up.
listen.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Listen, if you don't believe me, hop on your phone and look it up.
And fucking, they'd be like, "Oh my God," and be like, "Yeah, that sweet song that you've been listening to, that's
That you're
about."
bopping along to with a smile. It's about a school shooter. There you
Yeah.
go.
There you go.
Thank you.
Yep.
I'm so
But
thankful to ruin
It's
your
just
day.
like "Semi-Charmed Life" by Third Eye Blind. I mean, I'm pretty sure this is basic common knowledge now, but back in the day when I started fucking with people with this song, it wasn't. You realize that entire song is about crystal meth and crystal meth addiction.
No, I had no idea.
Listen to the song, but instead of listening to it, like, just listen to the lyrics. Like, if you can isolate the lyrics, just listen to what he says. In the second verse, he says, so most of it's an innuendo, but in the second verse, he says, doing crystal meth will lift you up until you break. Won't stop, can't stop. Then he bumped up, then he bumped again, then he bumped again.
No shit.
That is the literal lyrics.
The crystal.
Now,
method.
the rest of the song is euphemisms.
You know, I
But
think
that is
that's
just
one
a
of
rap.
those. I think that's one of those songs I kind of like mentally check out for.
Yeah.
Because the only you mentioned the song
Mentally
and the,
check out.
the only part of the song that's coming to mind is the part that has the title. in it.
Do.
Oh, okay.
And then he goes, I want something else to get me
Oh,
through
that song?
this
Oh.
semi-charm kind of life.
Oh.
And literally, he says that right after he's talking about all the fucked up shit that happened.
I
So he's
have a
literally
whole new
saying, I don't
respect
want to
for
deal
that
with
song
this
now.
anymore.
I'm a big fan of songs like that, just
Like-
because it's amusing.
That's
find it
literally
amusing.
him talking about battling addiction.
Oh, shit.
Like he's literally talking about all the shit he's doing while he's an addict and how he
No
doesn't
shit.
want to do it anymore. You know what I'm saying? I want something else to get me through the semi-charmed kind of life. He doesn't want the drugs anymore. You know what I'm saying? And the semi-charmed life is obviously his drugged up life.
Oh, look.
Anyway, yes. And if you want, actually, I'm going to start that segment. I'm just going to,
I'm gonna start that segment.
throughout the week, I will find a good pop song from, back in the day that everybody likes, or doesn't have to be a pop song, just one of those songs that everybody's like, oh yeah, it's a good song, and I'm going to ruin it for you.
Hey, we could talk
by
about it as
showing
long as
you
we
the
don't play
lyrics.
it.
No, I think we're allowed to play it.
No.
No,
No?
No, we have to pay
No.
people.
yeah, copyright. No,
Even if we're just talking about it, like
No, we
Talking
can
about
talk
it,
about every-
we can't play the song at
Yeah,
all. Even
yeah.
YouTube will.
Yeah.
This thing won't even make it onto YouTube because of copyright.
really, even
Yeah.
if we're talking about the song and the artist and like telling who everybody who's
We
If
can
we
do all
play
those
it-
other things,
if
but
we
we can't
play
play the
it-
song.
It will get knocked.
Man, that sucks.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Well, still, I'm gonna find a new song for next week, and I
But
will
it's
ruin it for
actually
you.
when we do that kind of stuff, as long as we make a note of it so I can remember, I'll include like a link in the YouTube to the song.
Okay.
That way we can't play it, but at least it's there, so whoever's listening, the whole 5 or 10 of you can go check it out.
Unless
I've
we
got a
know
few
the musician and they personally say we can use it.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I've got a whole few older songs that are kind of fucked up that you wouldn't think about it.
Well,
Like some of the 60s pop and whatnot.
well, send them over. I'll just put them on a list. We'll fucking, start working them in.
Yeah, I got.
This is a good segment. I like this segment.
We need to make an active list.
Yes, so we know which ones we've done already. Because so far we've done Pumped Up Kicks and Semi-Charmed Life.
Yep.
Anyway,
I spaced out.
So this episode is going to be called
Dead Space.
Can't do that. That's copyright.
Uh.
I'm pretty sure.
No, you can't copyright the title.
That's a video game, though. Dead Space.
Yeah, but you
Right.
can't copyright a title.
You can't copyright a title.
No.
And due to the English language, it's a different
Now,
definition.
if we were a horror podcast themed around Lovecraftian space stuff and we were trying to pass off as Dead Space, there might be a few infringement points here or there, but we're just a bunch of stoners, and Dead Space is literally we all zoned out at the same time.
Yeah.
So that's Dead Space.
Why don't we make it 5 minutes my ass?
5 minutes.
5 minutes behind.
Because of that break earlier.
No, I don't want to put profanity in the titles. I mean, we're not made for kids anyway, but even YouTube's going to be like, no, you can't do that, or they're going to give me some sort of runaround. We already have age restrictions on about 90% of the episodes.
Is that it?
Yeah, some of them it's let pass.
Really?
Yeah, I was kind of surprised myself.
I'll have to try harder next
Oh,
time. God
Jesus
damn.
Christ.
The fuck?
It really doesn't take much. I shit you not. Like 10 minutes after I upload or after it goes live, I get a little notification that's like, oh, hey, your video's been age restricted. Like, I already knew that was going to happen. We stated from the get-go. This is not for kids.
How about we put infringement?
Infringement. I like that. Infringement.
Or we could put new release.
Nah, I like infringement.
Okay. Because we were talking about infringement here at the end.
Yes, we were.
Yeah. All right. Well, we will see you all next week. Here I go again, talking about how I'll be watching you. Oh, that's another one we got to put on the list. We did all 3 today. We can't do those again. Got to do different ones.
Yep.
Anyway, all right. We'll see y'all next week.
All right.
Bye.
We are